Hello and welcome back to Sanctuary from Your Sofa. We really do apologise for all of the technical issues we had over at Shelter 4. We do think that they're now all fixed, so hopefully we should be able to show you the donkeys here at Shelter 2 uninterrupted. So as with all of our live broadcasts today, we're just going to wait 2 or 3 minutes before we get started to make sure everyone's had a chance to join. So we'll leave you with the donkeys for now. So hello and thank you for joining us again live in Sidmouth. We can't apologise enough for the technical issues we had over at Shelter 4. Unfortunately we weren't able to show you as much as we would have hoped over there. But it looks like everything's fixed now and we should be able to show you the donkeys here at Shelter 2 uninterrupted. So in a couple of minutes time we're going to be heading over the fence to one of our Flagpole Paddocks where adoption donkey Bonnie and her friend Bud are spending the afternoon happily grazing away. But first, welcome to Shelter 2, home to some of the Sanctuary's oldest residents, including Timothy and Walter, another 2 of our adoption donkeys. With us here is their groom Emma, who is going to be introducing us to the herd and telling us some incredible things that we might not have known about donkeys. If you'd like to get involved this afternoon, make sure you're signed in and watching on YouTube. We'll be keeping an eye on the live chat box for any questions you may have. But without further ado, over to Emma.
Hi everybody, welcome to Shelter 2, where as Charlie's just said, this is some of our older donkeys. Shelter 2 is particularly well suited to the older donkeys. As you can see, we've got this lovely flat grazing for them. We also have wood shavings bedding, which is a bit easier for some of the arthritic donkeys to walk through. Walter and Timothy are now in their 20s, with Timothy being 21 and Walter slightly older at 23. So they're very well suited to this group. For those of you that might not know, when they first arrived in 2017 on this farm, they actually lived at Shelter 1, which is just over here behind us. They were bedded on straw and feeding straw at Shelter 1. Walter developed a respiratory condition which is quite similar to asthma in humans. So it was felt that Shelter 2 with dust extracted wood shavings would be much more suitable for his breathing. And he's on a short chop feed as well, which is great. As we were saying about their ages, donkeys can live into their 40s and 50s. We've had one reach its 50th birthday. The kind of average age we say here at Shelter at Slade Farm, we probably late 20s, early 30s is a really great age. These guys are really lucky. They've got regular veterinary treatment and dental treatment. So in the wild it might not be as long as that, and that's what we say at the donkey sanctuary for an average age. You can see we've got Walter over here. As some of you may have noticed, Walter's wearing a fly mask. He's absolutely fine. All it is on a sunny day like today, his really pale pigmented skin, he can get a bit of sunburn, so he has his sun cream on and then pop a fly mask on just to keep his skin safe. He can see, it's a really fine mesh, he can see through it. It's just like wearing a pair of sunglasses really. Just over here behind Freddie we've got Timothy having a lovely graze. As you can see, Timothy is a very lovely grey colour. That's one of the most common colours that a donkey can be. And we've got Freddie just next to him. He's got the broken coat colour, where he's got a mixture of all different colours. We've also got one of the rarest colours in this group. We actually have two. We've got Roger and Mary, who are both the really lovely pure white colour. So if we have a look.
Should we go over and say a quick hello?
Yeah. So you can see Mary just here walking away from us, and Roger's in the distance. But yeah, the pure white coat is the rarest colour that you can get on a donkey. We're very lucky to have two. We've also got Neddy in the distance and Lily here. They are the brown donkeys. So you have a range of colours, and also, as you can see, a range of different sizes. Just here, this is Joe. He's the smallest at shelter 2. We've got the miniatures as well that you might see when you come to visit. They can be as small as 7 hands, and donkey size ranging all the way up to the plateaus, which can stand at 15 hands, which is obviously much bigger. Oh, Mary would be a really good example actually. I was just going to talk to you about the different colour hooves that donkeys can have. So she's walking away, but you might have seen she has striped colours on her hoof. She had a little bit of white and a little bit of black. Now donkeys' hooves can be a range of different colours, and what's really interesting, one donkey can have a different colour on each hoof. They could be black, white, almost a pinkish colour, and yeah, they can have all different colours on their hooves, or they might have all black or all white. Going back to Walter and Timothy, these guys, they moved to shelter 2 together as they are a bonded pair. As you can see, they're really content here at shelter 2, so they're quite happy to go off and be with the other donkeys, but they always know where each other is. As you can see, they've got Tim over here with them. Now Tim is actually the oldest donkey in shelter 2. He is 30 and he looks great for his age. As you can see, he's got the much longer coat as well. Tim is also wearing a fly mask for a slightly different reason. He's actually partially sighted, so his eyes are particularly sensitive to the sunlight. So having, again, like a pair of sunglasses on, the fly mask just helps his eye sensitivity. At the moment, they're all very happily grazing, having a lovely time, but sometimes when we do come in, they can be really playful. You'll see them chasing each other around. They love rolling. I think you might have seen some of the donkeys rolling when we came onto the camera at the beginning. Quite often, people will notice that they're missing collars. Now that might be because their friend has taken hold of it and pulled it off when they're playing. So we spend a lot of time replacing collars, finding them in the field. Should we go and see some more donkeys? So over here we've got Joe, who we've seen before. He is 29, so he's kind of the second oldest in the group. Here we've got Mary Sanderson. As you can see, she's got a yellow collar on, so she is a female donkey, whereas when we saw Walter and Timothy and Joe, they had the red collars. Mary is 25, she's doing really well. Let's see, who else can we meet? We've got Norman over here. Some of you might know Norman from before when he lived at Main Yard, but due to his teeth deteriorating, he's come up to shelter 2 because he's really suited to the short chop feed. It's much easier for him to eat, and we can monitor him really closely. And he was bonded with Freddie, the donkey we saw earlier. So Freddie came too. As you can see, they're just very happy, just having a lovely day in the sun today. We could move over. Should we meet Lily? So Lily is one of the actually the youngest donkeys in here. She's actually only 15, but due to she gets quite sore muscles, and she has a history of laminitis. So for her, the flat land and having the older, quieter donkeys with her has suited her really well. And she is actually bonded with Mary, one of the donkeys we saw before.
So we've just got some questions coming through.
Oh, okay.
So Bunny Lady wants to know how long donkeys can live for. I know we've mentioned that generally donkeys here at the sanctuary live to be late 20s, early 30s, but we have actually had donkeys a lot older than that before, haven't we?
Yes, we had a donkey reach its 50th birthday, which is an absolutely incredible age. So they can live as long as that. They can live well into their 40s. It's just as an average age at the donkey sanctuary, we say kind of late 20s, early 30s.
So Emma would like to know what different types of brays mean. What do brays signify?
So when the donkeys bray, it's a form of communication. In the wild, it would probably be that there might be a predator approaching. When they bray at the donkey sanctuary, it's normally because they've seen a groom with some food. So they will tell all the other donkeys, quick, dinner's here, and they'll all come running to the barn. And that's normally what it means. They can hear brays for up to, I think it's around 5 miles. So if the donkey brays over here, a donkey at the other side of the farm will probably respond as well, which is really amazing.
So Peter would like to know a little bit more about donkey bonding. Can we just talk about donkey friendships, why they bond, and what that means for them?
Okay. Well, I guess just like humans, donkeys are a herd animal, and they like to live. They don't like to live on their own. So donkeys that are paired, they will choose the donkeys that they bond with. It'll be a donkey they get along with. You might see them following each other around a barn, and that might be an indication that they've bonded with that donkey. Like we were saying earlier, Walter and Timothy, because they are bonded, Timothy moved to shelter 2 as well, because to separate them could have made one or both of them quite stressed and actually quite ill. So although Timothy didn't necessarily have to come here for medical reasons, he came here because he is so closely bonded with Walter.
So if we just go and say another quick hello to Timothy and Walter for those who may have missed them.
As you can see, Timothy and Walter are over here together under the tree. Walter is over here with his fly mask on, and Timothy is nearby enjoying his grass. As I was saying earlier, Walter's 23. It does say 22 on his collar, so I just need to update it.
So thanks to Emma for joining us. We're just about to say goodbye to the donkeys here at Shelter 2 and head over to one of our flagpole paddocks where Bonnie and Bud are waiting for us. As well as Easter Sunday today, today is also International Carrot Day. Carrots are held in very high regard by the donkeys here at the sanctuary, so we've got a little treat planned for Bonnie and Bud, which is sure to brighten their day. Bonnie is, of course, another member of our adoption donkey herd, along with Timothy and Walter, who we've just met over there. If you'd like to help support our work, both here in the UK and across the world, adopting a donkey may be just the thing for you. When you adopt one of the donkeys for just £3 a month, you receive a fantastic adoption pack, including 2 wonderful portraits of your chosen donkey, a display frame for those portraits, 4 beautiful postcards, a certificate, and a membership card, as well as plenty of information about your donkey and a guide to getting the most from your adoption. So unfortunately, all of our UK sanctuaries remain closed for the moment, but as and when normal life resumes, all 22 of our adoption donkeys will be available to visit at sanctuaries in Belfast, Birmingham, Ivybridge, Leeds, Manchester, and of course right here at our HQ in Sidmouth. To find out more and to see a full list of the donkeys that are available to adopt, head to bray.news/adopt or tap on the link below this video. So here we are with Bonnie and her friend Bud. Joining us here is Kelly, who's going to introduce them. Over to you, Kelly.
Hello everybody, I hope you're enjoying your Easter holiday so far. Today I have got Bonnie and Bud. Bonnie is very mischievous. She likes to see whatever you're up to. She likes to take the radio out of your pocket. She likes to help you with grooming and take the brushes, hide them from you. She's quite tall, so you can see her in New Barn. And Bud, her friend, Bud's more of her bodyguard. Bonnie's got several friends in New Barn, and Bud just keeps an eye on her and makes sure everything's okay.
So normally we'd find Bonnie and Bud over at Main Yard.
Yeah.
Why have we got them here today?
Today we thought we'd bring them up for a bit of enrichment, different area for them to investigate, different donkeys.
So how's Bonnie been getting on since the sanctuary was forced to close?
Bonnie's been coping all right. We've been doing this freedom to roam at the moment, which is very good. So we've got the 2 fields and they can roam and be natural, and we've got the hedgerows to hide from and grazing. But yeah, Bonnie can normally be seen in New Barn. She's very tall.
Is she the tallest in the herd?
She is the tallest in the herd, yeah.
That'd be great. Everyone can come along and see Bonnie when and spot her quite easily, hopefully,
Yes.
when the sanctuary is eventually able to reopen.
Wherever Bonnie goes, Bud's normally right behind.
So are Bonnie and Bud a bonded pair?
Yes.
And what does that mean for them?
So basically they go everywhere together. If they've got to go to the hospital, they'll go together.
So it's important not to separate
Yeah,
them.
we don't separate them because it can make them poorly. Something called hypolipemic. So we're always trying to keep them together. Sometimes if you get new donkeys come in and they're bonded, sometimes when they go into a big herd, they probably will separate from their friends because they see other animals that they would prefer to be friends with.
So as with Millie, Jump and D'Artagnan earlier on at Shelter 6, we've got a little bit of an activity planned for Bonnie and Bud here to celebrate International Carrot Day.
Yeah.
They may or may not be interested. We found out earlier at Shelter 6 that that Millie and friends were more than happy to carry on munching on the grass. But if they are, what have we got planned?
So today we have got a bit of guttering pipe which we've put in, we've made some holes and we've got some carrots, and so their activity is to pull the carrots out and eat them. And then we've got the hexagon ball which is just down here.
Should we head over and see if they join us over there?
Bonnie! What's this? Got a treat today. Look at this. So in here I've got some hay, some biscuits and some polos. And the activity is to try and get the treats out.
So how is this as an activity beneficial for the donkeys?
So it's very good to get their minds thinking of how to get the activity, the treats out. Keeps them entertained.
But it's not just food-based enrichment activities we do here, is it?
No, so we do different like grazing, walking.
And why is that important, that not everything's based around food?
Because they can get like a little bit food aggressive. So we make sure it's a varied.
And obviously with the sugary treats we need to limit the amount of those that they're getting as well.
Yeah, because they can get laminitis or a little bit overweight, so we need to ration them. And it's really good as well, if we've got sick donkeys then we know that the ginger biscuits and treats, we save them for them as well.
Does that sort of thing help them to eat again, maybe if they lose their appetite?
Yeah. Just found some bits there. Oh, yeah.
So if we just spin round, we have got another little activity for them over on the fence.
I think they prefer the ginger biscuits today. Don't think they've spotted them.
They do seem quite fixated by the
Yeah.
ball.
Oh, I think that's...
So it looks like Bud might be heading over.
I think Bonnie's grabbing all those treats. Oh, bird. Let's have a look over here. Come on. Over here, look. Bird. What's this? Bird. What's this? Look. No, not
No, he's going to head back over to the biscuits.
Haven't got anything else? So in main barn we've got 50 donkeys ranging between 2 years old and 20. There's a nice mixture in there.
So we spoke about freedom to roam. What are those donkeys over at Main Yard doing at the moment?
So currently at the moment they're doing the freedom to roam, so they can go out and explore the different grasses. They've got like, they're not stuck behind a fence, so they can go wherever they like. Different plants and that they can eat. Oh, Bud's found it. Different shrubs, just showing their natural behaviour. That's easy, isn't it, Bud? We always make sure when we do the treats, like the carrots, we cut them long ways rather than just chopping them into little bits, because they could choke if they're not cut properly. She's really loving that ball, isn't she?
So we spoke a minute ago about non-based food enrichment, non-food-based enrichment activities, sorry. What sort of things might we do that can be mentally stimulating for the donkeys but don't necessarily involve food?
Yeah, walking, they like to go for walks, explore around what we've got here. It's really good for when we see different things. We also have like a tracker which we take them to the hospital in, and sometimes we do loading practice with them. So that's something different. don't think you're going to have a go with that bird.
So we hope Bonnie and Bud have put a bit of a smile along their face this afternoon. That's about all we've got time for here at our Flagpole Paddocks, but there's still plenty to come before 4 o'clock. Join us again from 2, when we'll be heading to our Birmingham and Leeds sanctuaries to check in on some more of our much-loved adoption donkeys. The teams there will be speaking to us about the wonderful bonds that donkeys can form with members of their herd and with the people that care for them. Then at 3 o'clock, we'll be back here live in Sidmouth, finishing off the day at Shelter 1 with Hannah, Coco, and of course, their newest herd member, Ruby. Donkey behaviour expert Ben Hart will be with us there to get us thinking about some of the assumptions we make about donkeys and why there might be more to their behaviour than initially meets the eye. If you've enjoyed the day so far and would like to make a donation towards our work, head to bray.news/donate or click on the link below this video. Any donation, no matter how big or small, can go a long way towards making the world a better place for donkeys. Thank you for joining us here, and we'll see you again shortly.